All right, welcome to the Explainer. So let's dive right into this massive myth floating around the music industry right now. There's this super widespread belief that if you use AI to make music, you've automatically forfeited your rights. Like, bam, you instantly lose your copyright. People honestly think the Copyright Office will just flat out reject you the second an algorithm is involved. But today, we're going to completely unpack that assumption.
Because this is the core fear, right? Does using AI literally mean giving up your ownership? A lot of creators genuinely believe the Copyright Office is this strict no AI zone, and that eventually the rug is going to get pulled out from under anyone using these modern tools. But the reality of how the government is actually handling this behind closed doors, it might completely shock you. See, there's actually already a system in place for AI creators. It's almost like this secret backdoor at the Copyright Office. But here's the crazy part. It is not a new system at all. It's literally the exact same legal framework that legendary hip-hop producers were using back in the 1990s. We're witnessing a massive, high-tech royalty system being built right under our noses, and it is absolutely going to change how everyone gets paid. So here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll start with the AI copyright loophole, then how to actually register AI creations, look back at the history of music sampling, map out the future royalty system, and finally, dive into the rise of training artists. Let's get right into it.
Okay, Section 1. The AI Copyright Loophole. Understanding the Rules of Engagement. So, how does the Copyright Office actually view AI right now? Surprisingly, they look at it through the exact same lens as a cleared sample. The legal line in the sand is drawn by what's called the de minimis rule. Basically, this means if your use of AI is trivial, like basic noise reduction, minor pitch correction, or just standard EQ, you don't even need to disclose it. No one cares. But if you use AI to generate a brand new melody, write lyrics, create a whole vocal performance, or clone a voice, yeah, you absolutely must explicitly declare that.
Which brings us to Section 2. Registering AI creations. The paperwork of the future.
Let's get incredibly practical here. If you generate a melody, or say a backing track with AI, how do you actually fill out the paperwork without getting hit with a big, fat rejection? Well, it's a super straightforward three-step process. Step 1. When you're filling out Form PA for performing arts or Form SR for sound recordings, you just navigate over to the Limitations of Claims section. Step 2. In the space marked Material Excluded, you simply state what the AI generated. You just carve it right out. And Step 3. In Material Included, you state what you, the actual human being, added to the composition.
It's honestly beautifully simple. And hey, if there's one thing the government loves, it's consistent paperwork, right? If you sample a 1970s funk record, you exclude the sample and claim your human additions. If you use AI, you do the exact same thing. You exclude the AI generation and claim the human additions. It is the exact same fundamental mechanism, just applied to a brand new era of music creation.
All right, moving on to Section 3. The History of Music Sampling, passed as prologue.
To really understand where AI is heading, we have to look back at the Wild West of early hip-hop because it perfectly mirrors today's AI landscape. From roughly 1970 to 1991, we had this total free-for-all era. Producers were layering dozens of unregulated samples to create these massive sonic walls. And why? Well, because the technology was brand new, and the 1976 Copyright Act didn't explicitly mention digital sampling. The law just hadn't caught up yet. But, as we know, whenever technology outpaces the law, a massive crash eventually resets the rules. For sampling, that crash was the 1991 Grand Upright versus Warner Music lawsuit. And today, we're seeing the beginnings of our own modern crash, with early 2025 precedents like the GEMA versus OpenAI decision in Munich officially recognizing that AI training involves reproducing copyrighted works.
And man, that 1991 case is legendary. Songwriter Gilbert O'Sullivan sued rapper Biz Markie for sampling his song without permission. And Judge Kevin Thomas Duffy actually opened his landmark verdict with a biblical command. He literally wrote, "Thou shalt not steal." He ruled that unauthorized sampling was copyright infringement, full stop. That abrupt legal smackdown forced the entire industry to adopt a strict licensing and clearance system practically overnight. The golden age of unregulated sampling was officially over. And you guys, we are seeing history repeat itself in real time right now. Pre-1991, sampling was defended by artists as fair use or simply viewed as a normal creative tool. Today, major AI companies are arguing that scraping data for training is transformative fair use. Look familiar? The exact same legal arguments from 30 years ago are being recycled right now to defend this new technology. And the friction on the other side is completely identical too. Pre-1991, record labels viewed unregulated sampling as the literal theft of their recordings. Jump to our present day, and human artists view generative AI as cloning and a massive threat to their royalties. It is this immense, fundamental clash between the tech industry and creators over what constitutes theft versus what constitutes a brand new form of art.
Which leads us to Section 4, the future royalty system, the speculative dual system structure.
So, what actually happens when the dust settles on all of this? Well, experts speculate we're going to see a massive dual-lane payment infrastructure emerge. In Lane 1, you have the app level. Think platforms like Suno or Udio. Here, AI outputs are watermarked with tech like Google's SynthID. This triggers highly automated micropayments directly to rights holders the very second a prompt is run. Pretty efficient, right? Then in Lane 2, you have the DSP level, your digital service providers like Spotify or Apple Music. They'll likely use heavy, data-intensive forensic scans on uploaded files to hunt down those watermarks. This results in a clearance fee being paid to the trained artists and a reduced rate for the creator who uploaded the track. It's a bit more cumbersome, but it covers all the bases.
But wait. Then we have the voice cloning loophole, which kind of complicates the whole shebang. See, voice cloning isn't necessarily a direct copy of a single audio file. It's a digital recreation of a human likeness. Because there might not actually be an original file to trace in a forensic scan, monetization basically has to revert back to the app level. The payout is forced to happen at the exact moment the AI app is prompted to trigger that specific likeness. It's wild stuff.
Okay, final section, Section 5, Rise of Training Artists, the new music industry hustle. Because of this impending royalty structure we just talked about, an entirely new career path is opening up right now, the training economy. Instead of just trying to be a famous performing artist, creators might start providing their musical DNA specifically to be trained on. Just imagine earning a royalty every single time your signature vocal run or your specific drum stem is used in someone else's prompt. In this landscape, AI platforms are acting like the new record companies, and legacy artists basically operate as catalog companies. World-class session players, like the legendary bassist Marcus Miller, for example, could literally license a data set of their specific playing style, getting paid on autopilot whenever a user prompts their sound. You are essentially getting paid for your unique sonic DNA. How cool is that? But here is the catch. You absolutely cannot participate in this new economy if the machines don't know who you are. So, consider this your metadata cleanup checklist. You need to standardize your legal credits, ensure your lyrics are accurately registered, and update your information on every single distribution platform, literally right now. Because if your metadata isn't locked down tightly, you're going to be completely invisible to this new tracking system, and you will 100% miss out on future training payouts.
The technology is already here, you guys. The legal precedents are forming as we speak, and the financial infrastructure is actively being built. The culture of sampling 2.0 has already arrived. So the final question I want to leave you with today is this. How much longer will you wait to position yourself in a future that has already happened? Secure your rights, clean up your metadata, and get ready for the next era of music. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll see you next time.